Mexico, this is the award-winning KRWG-TV News 22, where news matters.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Samantha Dates.
And I'm Ben Schlittler.
Actor Alec Baldwin is not facing criminal charges for the time being of the death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins. Prosecutors say they could not go ahead with the charges under the current time constraints, but they could be recharged sometime later. The charges involved an incident on the set of the movie Rust in 2021 when a prop gun in Baldwin's hand went off. Despite the charges being dropped, there are no plans to drop the civil lawsuit against him. Jackie is next with the first look at the weather.
Thanks, Sam. So for your current conditions today, we should be seeing some sunny skies with a temperature of 78 degrees. We have winds traveling west at 16 miles per hour, humidity at 8%, a dew point at 15 degrees, and a barometer at 29.80 inches. Today we've had a high of 83, leaving our average at 80 and a low at 52. For our record temps, in 1996 we had a record high of 93 degrees, and over in 1968 we had a record low of 34 degrees. We have had no rainfall today, so that leaves our yearly rainfall at 0.57 inches. Now back to the desk for more news.
Southern New Mexico is known for agriculture, from chilies and onions to pecans. But now there's a woman who's going in for a completely different kind of crop. News 22's Daniel Espinosa takes us into the dark to a gourmet mushroom farm.
In 2019, Jimenez Anacona started Full Circle Mushrooms in La Mesa, New Mexico.
In this room, we have some white oysters.
Despite being in the desert, she found a way to grow them.
We are in the desert. We're in the middle of the desert, so they don't grow naturally here. So we are able to bring that to this area.
Jimena wanted to grow good, nutritious food and do it in a sustainable way. In fact, her mission statement says for the health of her customers and the planet.
They can grow in really small spaces. So if we are efficient with the spaces that we have, we can grow more food in less space with less inputs.
It is super warm and super dry in this region, which is why these rooms equipped with humidifiers are a key factor in the growing process for these mushrooms. The whole process is under strict control.
So creating blocks, sterilizing, incubation, fruiting, and composting. Here we have some lion's mane.
But there is a nutritional payoff.
It definitely opened my eyes just to how powerful they can be as a sustainable food source. My eyes have been completely open to the nutritional benefits, health benefits.
Oh, that was a big one.
Boosting your immune system and providing vitamin D are just a few of the many health benefits mushrooms provide, and for these reasons, Full Circle has become popular at the Las Cruces Farmers Market.
It's almost as good as the mitake, the texture.
I really like buying the mushrooms, and it was amazing, like the flavors and all the different kinds.
Jimenez even figured out a way to share the knowledge. With her grow kits, customers are able to grow their own mushrooms at home.
Yeah, if you do it well, you can get up to 3 pounds of mushrooms.
I think it's amazing. When we were done with our grow kits, we actually put them in our garden. So it's like a full circle, just like the name, and it's amazing. And I really have had a lot of fun, and I love what she is representing and fighting for, and that it's a women's company. Like, the whole thing is just really neat.
We want to be the Patagonia of farms, a role model in agribusiness that shows that, yes, you can be a business, and yes, you can do good for the planet.
Full Circle Mushrooms is only 4 years old. Jimena says New Mexico mushrooms will never replace chili, but she says they definitely have a place on the table. Daniel Espinosa, News 22.
Stay tuned, Jackie will be back with your national forecast, and later Kristen will have the scoop on sports.
But first, is there anything more powerful than a dog's nose? More on that when News 22 continues.
Welcome back. You're watching News 22 Tuesday,
where news matters.
If you ever got sick with COVID, did you notice your dog acting any different? A new study shows they're pretty good at detecting it. Researchers in California trained 2 Labrador retrievers to sniff at people's ankles. They brought them to 27 schools, and it turns out the dogs detected 85 infections and ruled out more than 3,400 others. But the dogs also alerted to 383 false positives and missed 18 infections. The results were published in Monday's edition of JAMA Pediatrics.
Jackie is next with the national weather forecast.
Thanks, Sam. For your national forecast today, we're going to be taking a look at the thunderstorm conditions that are going to be taking place over the next couple of days. These conditions are going to be consisting of tornadoes, damaging hails, and damaging winds. So all of this is mainly going to be taking place over the central part of Texas starting tonight. But if we look at my next map, over in tomorrow and tomorrow evening, it's going to move over into the northeast part of Texas a little bit. So if you're in Dallas, you have to make sure to be on the lookout for those conditions because you are in those extreme thunderstorm weather conditions. Now, if we take a look at my next map, following thunderstorm is always some rain. So we're going to take a look at the rainfall that's going to be over here in the east part of the United States. We have Tallahassee reaching 3 to 5 inches. We have Oklahoma, Little Rock, Raleigh, and New Orleans getting 2 to 3 inches. We have Atlanta, Columbia, and Jacksonville getting 1 to 2 inches. We have Tampa and San Antonio getting 1, and Houston getting ½ an inch of rain. Now it's time to take a look at your national temperatures. So we have Salt Lake City sitting at 40 degrees, we have Denver sitting at 39 degrees, and Kansas City sitting at 45, and St. Louis sitting at 43. Taking it back over to our neck of the woods, we have Albuquerque sitting at 40, and El Paso sitting at 60 degrees. That's all for your national forecast, and I'll be back with your local temps. And we're back. It's time to take a look at your current conditions over here in New Mexico. We should see Farmington sitting at 84 degrees, Gallup sitting at 67, Albuquerque sitting at 70, and Santa Fe sitting at 44 degrees. They'll also be getting some rainfall today. We have Clovis sitting at 70 degrees, Ruidoso at 66, Las Cruces at 78, and Deming at 82 degrees. Looking at our temperatures for tomorrow, we have things shooting down a little bit. Farmington hitting 76 degrees, and Gallup moving down to 67. We have Santa Fe moving up to 55 degrees, and Albuquerque hitting 66. Ruidoso at 61, Las Cruces at 81, and Deming at 80 degrees. Now it's time to take a look at our neighboring cities. Over in Alamogordo, we have a low of 50 and a high of 73 with tomorrow with some windy skies. In TRC, we should have some clear skies tonight with a low of 50 and a high of 76 with some partly cloudy skies tomorrow. And over in Silver City, we have a low of 43 and a high of 72 with some partly cloudy skies tomorrow. Now taking a look here in the city of Cruces, we have a low of 52 with some clear skies, and tomorrow we should have a high of 81 with some partly cloudy skies. Now, that's all for your current conditions. I'll be back later in the show with your 5-day.
And Kristen is next with a look at sports.
Thanks, Ben. Coming up in sports, find out how the women's golf team stands after the WAC championship. We'll be right back with News 22 Sports.
This is KRWG-TV News 22 Sports.
Welcome back. It's time to kick it with Kristen. The NMSU women's golf team is celebrating after a third-place finish in the WAC championship. The Aggies finished up to play today in Blaine, Washington. The championship consisted of 3 rounds. The Aggies finished up day 1 in 5th place and finished up day 2 in 3rd. After day 2, NMSU was just 1 shot behind 2nd place California Baptist. After the 3rd and final round, Sam Houston ended up taking 1st place with Seattle in 2nd, NMSU in 3rd, and Cal Baptist dropped to 4th. The NMSU men's golf team is now preparing for the WAC championship. The Aggies finished up their regular season this past weekend. NMSU competed in the 58th Ping Cougar Classic and finished in 4th place after climbing 2 spots in the final round. Garrison Smith and Joseph Robson both finished 7 under, tying for 11th place. The WAC tournament will take place at Boulder Creek Golf Club in Boulder City, Nevada, starting on April 28th. The NMSU baseball team is back on top after a tough weekend. The Aggies took down the Ottawa Spirit with a big win earlier today. 4 Aggies had a pair of home runs this game, helping the Aggies defeat the Spirit 12-6. Earlier this season, NMSU beat the Spirit by an impressive score of 23-2. This morning's game was the first of 4 home games for the Aggies throughout the week. You can catch the Aggies at Presley Askew Field on Friday at 6 p.m. to take on Sacramento State. The NMSU football team is now looking ahead to the fall as they finished up their 2023 spring practices with the spring game this past Thursday. The white team took down the crimson team 12-6, earning the white team a steak dinner and bragging rights. Looking ahead to the 2023 season, the Aggies will enter Conference USA and will open up with a home game against UMass on August 26th. And that's all for sports tonight. Join us for more sports action tomorrow. Still ahead on News 22, Jackie will be back to take a look at your 5-day forecast. But first, the FDA says it's now safe to have dinner with your best friend. More on this when News 22 continues.
Let's take a look at our top stories. Actor Alec Baldwin is not facing criminal charges for the death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins, and Jimenez Anacona started full circle mushrooms in La Mesa, New Mexico, despite the hot, dry Las Cruces weather.
It's perfectly safe to bring dogs to restaurants with outdoor seating. That's according to the Food and Drug Administration. The new guidance is in an update to the 2022 FDA Food Code. The agency still says dogs shouldn't go inside restaurants unless they're service dogs. The outdoor dining guidance does not permit other pets. Despite the new guidance, states, localities, and the restaurants themselves may still prohibit dogs if they choose to. Currently, dogs are allowed in outdoor dining areas in about half of the states in the U.S. Now let's take a look at our 5-day weather forecast.
Taking a look at your 5-day, tomorrow we should be seeing some partly sunny skies with a high of 81 and a low of 49. Thursday we should be seeing some sunny skies with a high of 83 and a low of 55. Friday, partly sunny skies with a high of 85 and a low of 43. For the rest of the week, we should be seeing sunny skies and then some highs in the 70s and 80s and lows in the 40s and 50s. Now, that's all for your 5-day.
And that's all for News 22 Tuesday. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Tune in tomorrow for more news. I'm Samantha Dates.
I'm Ben Schluler, and from the whole News 22 team, Sam, Kristen, Jackie, and myself, good night.
This news brief en español is brought to you by Noticias 22, Spanish language news for southern New Mexico and West Texas. Noticias 22.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Les saluda con mucho gusto Christopher Hernández con el breve informativo de hoy. La Policía Estatal de Nuevo México sigue investigando un accidente fatal ocurrido el pasado domingo 23 de abril en el condado de Grant, Nuevo México. El reporte indica que un Buick 2004 conducido por Tyler Trusty de Caballo, Nuevo México, viajaba hacia el este por Whitewater Road. Por alguna razón, Trusty se salió de la carretera y chocó contra la orilla de tierra, lo que provocó que el vehículo volcara. Trusty sufrió heridas fatales y fue declarado muerto en la escena por la oficina del médico forense. El alcohol parece ser un factor que contribuyó a este accidente, al igual que el mal uso de los cinturones de seguridad. En otras noticias, mientras el Departamento de Atletismo de la Universidad Estatal de Nuevo México está pasando por momentos difíciles, luego de 2 incidentes fuera de la cancha relacionados con el programa de baloncesto masculino, el director atlético Mario Mocha recibió una extensión de contrato por 5 años. Bajo el contrato extendido, el salario base de Mocha aumentaría anualmente. El primer año de $280,000 a $351,000. Los próximos años tendrá un incremento promedio de $20,000 hasta su término en el 2007. El nuevo contrato no incluye el bono de retención de $25,000 que ha recibido cada enero desde el 2019. Esto es todo por mi parte. No se olvide de seguirnos en nuestras redes sociales. Yo soy Christopher Hernández. Que tengan una muy buena noche.